What up, family? Peace. Here's an update on the Dr. Sabi diet, day number 3. I messed up. I broke it. I went out with my brother and I ate sushi. And then my brother was telling me about this. It's called the Impossible Burger from White Castle. And it's a vegan burger, and it tastes like meat, but it's completely plant-based. So it's really just genetically modified to the max. I printed out the ingredients of the White Castle vegan burger. So this is just to convince me not to eat it, because this is like GMO to the max. Like, they took this stuff in a factory, in a science lab, and they were experimenting, making sure that, well, we want it to taste as much like meat as possible. So it's just fake meat. So what do we got in here? There's water, textured wheat protein, coconut oil, potato protein, and natural flavors. Don't you love when you read the ingredients of something and it tells you, yeah, there's natural flavor in it? What does that even mean? And 2% or less of the following: leg hemoglobin, soy. Leg hemoglobin. I don't know what that is. It's soy. Yeast extract, salt, soy protein isolate, konjac gum, xanthan gum, thiamine, which is vitamin B1, zinc, niacin, vitamin B6, riboflavin, which is vitamin B2, and vitamin B12. And then here's a little printout of just a little background of what else is in there. What up, Goonie Gang? Okay, so the special ingredient is a protein known as heme. It's released from soy hemoglobin when it breaks down, and this supposedly gives the burger a unique meat-like taste and texture. What up, Frank? What up, Claudio? So I'm talking about the White Castle vegan burger. It's just genetically modified. They made it in a laboratory. Hi, Frank, you want to go live with me? What up, bro? I can't hear you. You eat any White Castle? Because the vegan burger from there, it has soy leg hemoglobin in it, and it's called heme. So that's their secret ingredient. Impossible Foods claims that this ingredient is completely safe based on all the tests they've done, but the FDA disagrees, claiming that the company's assessment of the potential for the ingredient to be an allergen was deficient. So the FDA didn't give their nod of approval. Okay, so they made this burger. There's no meat in it. It's for vegans, even though they still put a piece of cheese on it. If you want it, I would recommend the piece of cheese. Don't eat it, Jory. It's poison. There's no meat in it, but it's genetically modified, and they're programming it to make you impotent. And then they give you heart disease, make you go to the hospital. What up, Marcus Wheel and Saint Aaron? How you doing? How you guys doing? Don't eat the genetically modified food. It's going to change your genetics, and then your body's going to start messing up because it's specifically programmed with the intent to make you sick. Doesn't matter if it's not meat or not. Okay, do you hear me? So I better not catch you going to White Castle after work and then eating that garbage. You're on the Dr. Sebi diet. Apples and bananas. Apples and bananas and dates. So I've been watching John Rose videos too. And he tells you to go on the whole food, the raw food vacation, which meaning you're just making smoothies and eating fruits, and then that's like the raw food vacation. It's a fast, and then after a week you're gonna feel so great, and after a month you'll even feel more great. So I need to like actually take the knowledge and apply it and quit being distracted. I can't be eating fake meat from White Castle. The FDA doesn't even know what's in it. But then they're still serving it. And the FDA arrested Dr. Sebi, threw him in jail, and then murdered him. So I don't really trust the FDA too much. And then this article just proves that they don't even know what's in most of the food. So on a microscopic level, when people are actually programming the genetically modified food for a specific result to get you sick, to get you on medication so you go see that Babylonian doctor, the FDA is just like, yeah, we don't know what's going on. Okay? So I broke the Dr. Sebi fast. I was supposed to stick to that list and not deviate from it at all. But I did. I went out for sushi with my brother, and then he told me about the Impossible Burger from White Castle, and I tried it. I ate it. I ate that genetically modified stuff, so it changed my genetics. It's inside my body right now. Who knows what it's doing? But I can't go there after work and then get another one, even though it tasted good. That fake meat, it was delicious. They really perfected making a cheeseburger that's not even meat really taste like meat. It's 2018. We live in an amazing time. But hey, I'm telling you, the shit is gonna make you sick. You can't be putting that stuff in your body, Jory. So here's a little thing from the Bible. Now we're going to talk about Jesus Christ, the Messiah, the Holy One of God. That's what Messiah means. It means the Christ. We have seen the Messiahs, which interpreted means the Christ. So I'm going to show you right here that Jesus isn't vegan because he was eating fish, and he was also giving fish to other people. He's eating a piece of broiled fish, and then there's another story where they see him on the land, and he's like, well, you didn't catch any fish? Throw your net to the right side, which means cast your thoughts upon the right side of your mind, which is the higher self. The right side of the brain is the higher consciousness. So then they cast their net onto the right side, and then they draw in 153 fishes. Right? 153. And 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 3, that's 9. So even all these numbers, it has a spiritual meaning. So it's not even talking about, this story, I don't believe it really happened. But it's talking about casting your net upon the right side of your brain, because the left side is just the lower self, this animal instinct that we all have. But then when we exercise some self-control and then go within ourselves, believing in ourselves, and trusting God, because I am one with the Father and one with the Spirit, and we're all one. I'm one. I am God. I am the one that created all this in the beginning. And when I created everything, I didn't create fake meat. I told people you eat the fruit with the seeds in it. That's what I told everybody. But then my lower self, the left side of my brain, disobeys. So cast your net on the right side. And when you see the man walking with the pitcher of water, Aquarius, follow him up to the second story and raise your consciousness to the Christ consciousness. So let's read these stories that show that Jesus wasn't a vegan, because he's cooking fish, he's eating a piece of broiled fish, and then he's also giving fish to other people. Luke chapter 24, verse 36. Let's prove everybody wrong, baby. Let's cause some division with the Bible. I'm right, and everybody else is wrong. Luke 24, verse 36. And as they thus spake, Jesus himself stood in the midst of them, and saith unto them, Peace be unto you. But they were terrified and affrighted, and supposed that they had seen a spirit. And he said unto them, Why are ye troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your hearts? Behold my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see, for a spirit hath not flesh and bones as ye see me have. You hear that, Jehovah's Witnesses? A spirit hath not flesh and bones as you see me have. And it also shows after Jesus rose from the dead that he didn't have blood in his system. He only had flesh and bones. There wasn't any blood in his risen, glorified, exalted body that rose from the dead. And when he had thus spoken, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they yet believed not for joy and wondered, he said unto them, Have ye here any meat? And they gave him a piece of broiled fish and of an honeycomb. And he took it and did eat before them. So Jesus ate the piece of broiled fish. He didn't eat the fish sandwich from Arby's that's processed meat that kills you. And if you ask Jesus, hey, would you eat the Impossible fake meat vegan burger from White Castle? He would say, what are you thinking? You can't be putting that in your holy guacamole temple. You need to put avocados up in there. That's on the Dr. Sebi diet, avocados. So we have Jesus eating a piece of broiled fish. Luke chapter 24, verse 36. Now we're going to go to John chapter 21, verse 3, where Jesus is actually cooking some fish, and then he starts giving it to his friends. But he tells them to cast their net upon the right side, which is the higher consciousness. Raise your consciousness to the Christ, to the truth. Get rid of all the ignorance and all the religion and stuff that's holding you back. You got to let it go, because all that ignorance is just lies. So you got to quit believing the lies and then cast your net upon the right side. Because all the Pharisees, they're just on the left side of the brain, caught up in their religion, and they're wrong about everything. Their doctrine is garbage. Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. John chapter 21, verse 3. Simon Peter saith unto them, I go a-fishing. They say unto him, We also go with thee. They went forth and entered into a ship immediately, and that night they caught nothing. But when the morning was come, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples knew not that it was Jesus. Then Jesus saith unto them, Children, have ye any meat? They answered him, No. And he said unto them, Cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of fishes.
Therefore that disciple whom Jesus loved saith unto Peter, It is the Lord. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girt his fisher's coat onto him, for he was naked, and did cast himself into the sea. And the other disciples came in a little ship, for they were not far from land, but as it were 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes. As soon then as they were come to land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid thereon, and bread. Jesus saith unto them, Bring of the fish which ye have now caught. Simon Peter went up and drew the net to land full of great fishes, 153. And for all there were so many, yet was not the net broken. Jesus saith unto them, Come and dine. And none of the disciples durst ask him, Who art thou? Knowing that it was the Lord. Jesus then cometh and taketh bread and giveth them, and fish likewise. Now this is the third time that Jesus showed himself to his disciples after that he was risen from the dead. So he's taking the bread and he's giving it to his disciples, and fish likewise. And they saw Jesus on the land, and there was, what did it say? As soon then as they were come to land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid thereon, and bread. So they're making broiled fish. Jesus says, it's me. A spirit does not have flesh and bone the way you see me have. Give me a piece of that broiled fish. And he ate it, and then it popped out of his side, right? Because he had a hole in his side. And then Peter is naked, fishing in the boat. He casts the net on the right side. They catch all these fishes, and then Jesus is on the shore, and he's making some fish. He's broiling that. So you can't say Jesus was a raw vegan because he's eating fish. But I'm just showing you what it says. I mean, is it even really talking about fish, or is it talking about our mind? It's talking about our mind. Okay, I'll answer that question for you. So this video is about fake meat and Jesus cooking the fish and eating the fish. All right, family. I'm gonna get out of here. And hey, I'm gonna start doing John Rose juice vacation, the raw fruit vacation, and heal my body. John Rose knows what he's talking about. John Rose is the man, and I support him 100%. Except when he says that Jesus was a raw vegan. I mean, I got this. I mean, the story of Jesus, he's eating fish, man. But he's not eating Arby's fish sandwiches and the fish that they serve at the VFW, because that's just processed, and if you eat that, it kills you. It's dangerous. So I think that's a good video. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm leaving work in 10 minutes. All right, family. Peace.